Hi there, I'm Mark Phillips. I'm here with Sam Figueroa, and Sam is one of my new friends. I was super inspired by his story. We met through our mutual friend, Ruth Romero, who is an amazing woman, and
Yes.
I invited him to come on and talk about his experience and his journey thus far. Sam, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you, Mark. It's really a pleasure to be here with you and do this podcast that is going to be inspiring for a lot of people that are going through a lot of hardship in life,
Yeah.
and I want to inspire.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted you to come on and share your story. When we met, and you talked about how you were living in mediocrity, and you
Yes.
realized that, and your journey out of mediocrity, and you're moving to more better life, more success, more prosperity and abundance.
Of course.
I think it's fascinating because I don't know in my own experience or in other people that they had that realization. Like, I want to really understand how you had that realization. What were you doing at the time? What caused that?
A lot of things, I don't know why, there was this time that I was like, in this moment in my life, I was out in my porch looking outside, and I was like, this is it? I mean, this is all? I mean, getting married, having kids, and is that going to work? Is that life? I was like, man, there's gotta be something else out there. I don't know, but I had that epiphany, or how do you say?
Epiphany.
Yes.
Were you
Yes.
reading any books at the time?
No.
Were you watching any inspirational videos? Did it just come out of nowhere? Because that's what I think is really fascinating. I think a lot of times in life we can get on a track and we don't know how much better it can be. We don't know that we're living in mediocrity or living less than we can. And because that's the first step, is to be aware. And that's what I think is fascinating about your story. Not everyone has that.
You're exactly right. I mean, I was like, what is going on? I mean, and I think there's more to it. And I didn't even have any goals in
Nothing
life at
written
that
down,
moment.
Nothing that you wanted. You were just
No.
on autopilot.
Yes, but I know I wanted something. I know I wanted to be financially free, because I couldn't give my family what I wanted them to have. Like, go to a restaurant, do not worry about money, and take them out. So I was like deep into work. I mean, like, I used to work in picking apples, man. I used to work in a restaurant. So I go to my work like 6 a.m. in the morning, got off like around 4, and then went to the restaurant and started like around 5 p.m. I was doing it constantly, and I was like, man, there's gotta be something else out there, I couldn't explain that.
It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was
Yes,
the path that could create the life that you wanted.
Yes, and I wanted more. I wanted to see if there's something else out there, and I was like, I'm talking about like 2009. It's like 10 years ago.
That's when you had that realization.
Yes, yes, and it came to me since that moment. I mean, a lot of things happened to me in 2009. A lot of things changed since that moment. I mean, everything went downhill.
Really? Like in
Yes.
your life, like you had some negative experiences.
Yes.
What kind of things?
Well, first of all, I got separated. I got divorced from this relationship that I was into. So I lost my kids. My ex, in that point in life, was my wife. And I was like, from that moment on, I mean, everything went downhill. Like, So I was deported to Mexico because
you
I made a
were.
mistake.
At that time, shortly after that time.
Yeah, they deported me to Mexico because I was going through a lot of stress. So we got into a fight with my ex, and I hit her. I made that big mistake, but I don't regret it. You know, I used to regret it before.
You got past it.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to let go of those things because they'll hold us back, right?
Yes, and I was like, if that wouldn't happen, I wouldn't be here right now making this podcast with you.
Everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I mean, this is the first time I share with a friend.
Wow.
Yes, this is the first time I share this. I mean, you're the only one that I share this, and I want to be real. I don't want to be a fake. That's why I share.
Wow. So you had some of these negative experiences happen, but you see them now as stepping stones on your journey.
Of course, man. I mean, everything that bad that happens in life, I mean, is more beneficial than the good stuff.
I find that too. Yeah, from the bad or quote failure experiences, I learn the most.
Yes.
When things are good, it's like there's not a lot of like learning in there because things are good.
Yes, and I was like, I just figured that out like 2 years ago. I mean, it hasn't been that long that I figured that out. I was like, well, I've been learning a lot more from the bad stuff than the good stuff. I mean, not a lot of people learn from their bad situations.
Sometimes, yeah, right. They just repeat that.
Yeah, they just make it bigger and bigger, like snowball. And I mean, you can see a person that has all that bad energy because they carry it in their mind, in their everyday life. And the way I see it is like, I'm not gonna carry that all my life. I mean, I'm just gonna put it in the bag and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, when did you get on the path of reading all the books, and you've attended some personal growth, personal transformation seminars? You're just like kind of going for it, aren't you?
Yes, that's what I'm into right now. And I think it's been like 5 years already. But getting more into reading, it's been like a year. It's been a year or only that I've been getting into reading more. And I'm discovering all this stuff. I mean, all this knowledge, all this wisdom in the books.
What's changed? How has that helped you? I mean, what have you found, the nuggets, some of the best nuggets you've got, like ideas?
A lot, man. Like, I was reading Grant Cardone last night. I mean, 2 weeks. I've been reading Grant Cardone 2 weeks. And I mean,
he's good, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
that guy changed the way I look at the world in a major way.
Oh yeah, have you read the 10X?
The 10X, yeah, and his Sell or Be Sold. 10X changed the way I perceive the world, and this idea that you've got to do 10 times more than you think. Because I was kind of in the mindset of, okay, I'm going to do 1x and get 1x result, and it just doesn't work that way. And he kind of shifted my mindset. If you do 10x, you might get 1x result, right? It's like you got to do 10 times more, be 10 times more focused. So he changed the way I look at everything.
Oh yes,
I didn't have that in my mind before. I didn't think about that.
You see?
Changed my perspective.
Oh yes, a lot. I mean, by reading that Grant Cardone book, I mean, it's opening my mind like you have no clue. I mean, I'm like getting in all this knowledge. I'm like, wow. I mean, all those things that you can accomplish if you only change your mindset, rewire your whole thinking, your perspective, all those things.
Yeah.
Man, the only thing I see right now, man, I see my future. I see my future in a better place than I am today. I see my future.
You're visualizing and
Yes,
that picture.
and I see my future talking to all these wealthy people.
Yeah, I got that sense when we first met. You have a lot of conviction and you have a lot of presence. And I know you're in Toastmasters. I know you're developing your public speaking skills. And I want to talk about like maybe what your future, if you have maybe designed or mapped out a future, if you would share with us, if you're wanting to do that, as far as where you think you want to be making an impact, what you want to be doing. But
Yes.
I know I got that sense you have a lot of presence, and because I thought you were already doing that when we were talking, right? You just
thought
you just
that?
have a very commanding presence when you speak,
Oh.
and I noticed that in Ruth when we were at Ruth's house.
You noticed that, huh?
Yeah, it comes across. And when I found out you're just kind of starting your journey, I was like, dude, if you're just starting, I cannot even imagine what it's going to be like when you have integrated all those tools you've already been building. I mean, it's just going to, you seem to have a natural presence, a natural commanding presence to you now. It's only going to get better. I see that.
When you mean commanding,
Well, you speak very like deliberately, and your voice is very, it throws far, it impacts, it's impactful.
okay.
I sense that.
You sense that,
night,
and not a
too.
lot of people sense that. You know, like you're special too.
Well,
you're special too.
Thank you. Yeah, we all have
Yeah.
our thing, don't we? We all
Yes.
have our gift, our genius.
Of course, man. I mean, a lot of people I can make a lot of people uncomfortable.
In what way? I can see
How
what
I,
you're saying.
how I
but tell me.
express myself, how I think. I mean, that's one of the things that I've been noticing that I make a lot of people uncomfortable.
Yeah, and we've talked a little bit about that. Maybe
Yes.
maybe it makes them uncomfortable. They see you growing and becoming more successful and getting more on the path of success, and maybe they're not. Is that what you're referring to?
Kind of like yes.
Kind of it shines the mirror on where they're at in their life, and that
Yes.
makes people uncomfortable. Like maybe I'm not doing as much as I could. Maybe I'm not, right? Is that
Of
what
course, yes. That's the one of the things I noticed, that a lot of people, they're just whining about their life, and trust me, I used to do that before. I was the one that was first in line. I used to complain a lot.
To complain and to
Excuses. And I mean, to get rid of that mindset, it takes work. I mean, I'm still in that phase right now. I mean, it's like you're not gonna rewrite your whole software.
Takes time, because those patterns are deeply ingrooved. I feel the same way. You know, there's patterns of like thinking and behavior, and it's so familiar to us until we kind of over time purge a little off, change habits, change the way we think, you know, write the goals down we want, all those things. I totally get it.
Yes, and it's amazing how the mind works, and that's what I'm into right now, developing my mind to become more than I could ever imagine. I mean, we live in a energy world. Everything's energy. The whole universe, everything in our bodies, we're machines, it's magic.
It is magic, isn't
It is magic. I mean, not a lot of people understand that, but I mean, the way that I see the world right now, by getting into all this wisdom, into books, looking at the stars, the universe, how they were born, looking back into history, how humans came into the world. All those little things, man, makes you think, oh wow, man. I mean,
That's another thing. See, sometimes if people don't stop to think about how magical and divine and just off the charts that human beings are, that we are, it's easy to get into a rut of, oh, this is it's a limited mindset, limited capabilities. I don't have, but when we realize we have the whole knowledge and wisdom and power of the universe behind us. I love the quote by Emerson when he says, hey, once you decide, the whole universe conspires to help you make it happen, right? We don't, unless you think about that all the time, you forget about it because you think, oh, I'm disconnected. I'm just one being out here doing my thing with no support system, and I'm cut off, whatever. Life gets hard and challenging.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's like right now I was looking at the trees outside, the weather and the wind, how it flows through those leaves, I'm like, wow, man, this is paradise. Mm-hmm. This is paradise. Mm-hmm. But humans, us, we make it hell.
Right. Yeah, because we have that power. Our mind is so powerful. We can make heaven what is supposed to be a heaven experience, right? We have all this ability to create, and we can make it hell by our own thinking. So true.
Yes, but I mean, not a lot of people notice that. I mean, we live in paradise.
We do.
We have all those things available for us. I mean, all these beautiful things like watermelon, a cantaloupe, or a cucumber. I mean, all these fruits, all these varieties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All those little things that you think that they're not like important. But I mean, if you stop for a second and notice that, mm-hmm. I mean, you will see that you live in paradise.
Right. Yeah, because it's all perspective, isn't it? One of the things I find really fascinating, even though we're all on one planet and we come from the same place, we're going to the same place, we all have vastly different experiences. And you got to ask yourself, why is that happening? Why is there a super rich, super healthy, successful person and someone who is not, like on the other end of the spectrum? Even though we're coming from the same place, living on the same planet, what's the difference? And I attribute it to like perspective and what you feel is possible, what you think is possible. I mean, how you look at the world, because some people don't see the world in that way. They see only a terrible place where bad things happen, where things don't work out.
Trust me, man.
You've been there. That's why I say you kind of transcended that.
Yes, I work. I am a maintenance guy right now, mm-hmm. for Cars Junior. Mm-hmm. And I see that, in my coworkers, that they don't inspire to become more. I ask them, hey, what are your goals? Do you have any goals? Mm-hmm. And they're like, I mean, they don't, their goals, they're not that high. I mean,
right. If they have, and like you can probably relate. I mean, there was a time when I didn't have any goals, when I was on autopilot, just day by day by day by day, which was fine, but I was not doing what I came here to do, which push into the unknown and create stuff. And it sounds like you've been there too, where mm-hmm. you're just on autopilot, no goals, mm-hmm. no vision for your life. Mm-hmm. That's what I think is really fascinating.
That is exactly right. I mean, I seen this co-workers, like they're like they whine about how much are they getting paid, mm-hmm. but they don't change it. I mean, they don't do nothing to change that situation. Mm-hmm. I mean, right now, one of the things that I do is not to whine.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one, isn't it? Yeah, because it perpetuates this situation. It gives energy to what maybe isn't working out the way you want, right?
Yeah, if things aren't working the way I want, it's because of me, not because of my surroundings. No, I'm not gonna blame anyone else but me. I am the one that could make this better.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the future? Would you have some vision, some goals, some impact you want to make in the world? Have you got some design down? Would you be willing to share with us, or where are you at?
Where I'm at right now is my pursuit. I mean, my how do you say?
Like your passion or your purpose?
My passion, my purpose. And it's kind of funny because before I didn't used to have a passion. I didn't even understood that word passion.
Mm-hmm.
Not even mediocrity, procrastination, all these words. I mean, I didn't even have a clue. And if they came by, I didn't even bother of acknowledging them. You know, like trying to find out what is the meaning of that word. I mean, I was like, going through life like a zombie. I call this a zombie. I call a person a zombie when they don't have no dreams. They just go by their life. I mean, all their routines and all that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it's like you're dead. I'm alive.
Mm-hmm. I call that drifting, because I've drifted for many. You go with the current. You like whatever prevailing winds are going to push you, unless you have your sails up and your engine on, going to your port, your destination you want. Yeah, I totally get that. I've drifted before, where it's just like, oh, I'm at the mercy of my country or my employer or my city, whatever. They're gonna dictate how my life's gonna play out.
Yes.
I don't have any goal.
Yes, and I mean, I used to be like that. I mean, but not anymore. I mean, I know passion is something. I mean, it's a burning desire, man. It's like you walk into a building in fire and you don't get burnt because you're already on fire.
Yeah.
That's
you wake
how
up excited. You just go to every day. You're excited. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I don't want to do nothing, but sometimes I'm like, I gotta commit, man. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Why? Because I want to inspire. I want to, and I didn't even thought about writing a book, but I thought about it.
Yeah, you need to, because your story is really, really inspiring, and I know that it can wake up a lot of people. Like, because some people may not know they're in that experience yet. You know, some people may not know how good life could get. All right, that they're living in that mediocrity. That's why I wanted you to, share. And I think it's been awesome, Sam.
Well, that's an awesome experience for me, because I mean, meeting you, and I've been meeting a lot of people.
I know you have.
I've been meeting a lot of people that are in the same frequency as me. You know, like they're once you're in the same frequency, you guys connect.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating? How when you start to change what you're focusing on in life, you meet people in that same area of life. Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, it's not everybody. I mean, it's like me. Like, I noticed that when I start talking to someone about all that stuff that I'm into, I'm not afraid to share my ideas. I'm not afraid. People are afraid.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, they're sometimes afraid of sharing their dreams, their goals. I'm not afraid. You know, I'm like, I'll share it with you. I mean, it could get me into trouble. I mean, with someone that wants to take advantage of you.
Right, or maybe make, like you said, some people uncomfortable, but that's the price you got to pay, right?
I'm not afraid. I mean, if people want to take advantage of me, well, I'm gonna learn from that mistake, But I'm gonna share because I don't want to hold back anything.
Yeah, that's what I think is really cool. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like you're gonna make them uncomfortable by sharing all that stuff because they don't see themselves like, what am I doing, or like, they probably take it the wrong way, or
right. Well, and one of the things that I have studied a lot in my work and in my journey is this idea of changing our self-concept and changing like who we are when you show up in the world. And that's your story of transformation and how you were like a different person, living in mediocrity, not having any goals, and now you're this person now. That changes your family dynamics, your friend dynamics, because we fit in a spot in people's lives, and when we change who we are, we don't fit that spot anymore.
Of course.
And when you don't fit the spot with your friends and family, they have a choice. They can either accept the new you and like integrate it in, or resist it and become uncomfortable or not like it or whatever. You know, it doesn't always have to be a separation. But when you change, especially radically, oftentimes friendships change and family situations change, work situations. I mean, it's just the way that it is, you know.
And let me tell you something, man. I know I'm changing. I know I'm changing because of many reasons. Like with my family right now, I mean, like, I know they're like, because I post anything I think, anything that comes into my mind, I just go to Facebook, boom. I've been doing that 2 to 3 weeks ago, since three weeks ago, I've been doing that. Whatever comes into my mind, I'm gonna share it, boom. Even though if they don't like it, if they like it or not, I don't care. I mean, that's the way I think, and that's the way. Why I do that is because of me. I want to see all my changes. I want to see when I'm in the top. I want to see how I started, all the things I did. You know, since all that stuff. I mean, and a lot of my friends that I had, I mean, they're not in my circle no more. Why? Because we share a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like you were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not in the same mindset anymore. I mean, lions and eagles fly alone.
Yeah. It's, you know, I've heard that from so many successful people, that the more successful you get, it's like a solo journey. I mean, because people, I look at it this way, we're all on our individual journey in life, and the people in our family or friends, they're not meant to go on our journey. They have their own, like, you know, it's like the hero's journey, right? The hero goes alone. He gets assistance. He or she gets assistance at times, but no one's meant to go on our journey with us. So I totally have seen that in successful people. I feel that on my own journey, like this, it's an individual path we're all walking.
And let me tell you about successful people. I mean, like, I was listening to this. I was listening to Jim Brown, to one of his videos that he made, and one of the things he said, it was that if you want to be successful in life, study success. If you want to be happy, study happiness.
I love that.
If you want to be a lawyer, study law. All those things. So I was like, well, I want to be successful. What do I have to do? Study successful people.
Yeah, so
and
true.
That's what I'm doing right now, studying successful people, and I've been studying them, and I see all the hurdles that they go through life and how they started. I mean, Oprah Winfrey started from the bottom. Elon Musk, my hero, he started from the bottom too. I mean, these guys are high performance. That's what I want to. That's what I'm going to become, a high performance person.
I love that. It's awesome. Well, Sam, I really appreciate hanging out with me today. This has been super inspiring, and I know it's going to inspire a lot of people too.
I know. That's one of my goals in life, to inspire. My purpose, to inspire and create a lot of wealth. This is one of my main things, to create a lot of wealth, to share it with the whole world. Because I live in a state of abundance right now, not in a state of scarcity like before. I used to live in a state of scarcity, that if I do you a favor, I was expecting something back from you. That's what I say about scarcity. Yeah. Now I'm like, I'll do whatever you want, man. Without expecting something in return.
That's awesome. I've been in that situation too, where you're just giving unconditionally, and because it fills your cup up, and it's exceptionally beneficial for us
Of course.
as the giver.
And I mean, if you share, I mean, if you collaborate with others, I mean, you can gain more than just expecting something in return, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see myself right now. And since I started living in a state of abundance, man, I see a lot of opportunities. I see.
Isn't that fascinating? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're always out there. Like you
Yes.
can't see them if you're not in that mindset, right?
Yes, I mean, it's like Grant Cardone. I was watching a video like a few minutes ago, and he was saying, I mean, all I see is money everywhere.
Yeah.
All I see is opportunities, because he's in a state of abundance. He doesn't have a scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see him. I mean, this guy is crazy.
Yeah, he is, and that's another thing, all of his companies and all of his wealth that he's creating and helping other people create wealth and shifting the way they see the world. See, he all pulled that out of nothing. Those things did not exist, but he made them exist in his mind first and then created them in the world to help people become wealthy. And that's why he's himself becoming more wealthy.
And the funny thing is that I don't know about you, but my mind is thinking like, oh, that's not true. I mean, he just saying that to sell. I mean, that's what my
part of that limiting thinking that you're purging out. Yeah, I'm like that too. Yeah,
you're like that
because
too,
there's
huh?
a little bit of skepticism, because if you didn't come from that, if you weren't raised in that type of mindset, again, it sometimes takes a constant tending to maintain that mindset of abundance. Otherwise, because I believe that if we don't tend to our mental garden, it grows weeds and it becomes dilapidated. We have to constantly repair it, water it, put nutrients in the soil. It's like a daily thing. Otherwise, because it tends towards chaos, and you tend toward that. Predominantly, there's a scarcity and a kind of a poverty consciousness in the world. That's why only 5% are successful, 1% are super successful. The majority of people, I think, they live in the middle part and or the lower part. And I think it takes tending, just like it takes tending to our body to keep our body in shape, it takes tending to our mind to keep our mind in shape. So I totally get that sometimes we can slip back in if we're not constantly reminding ourselves we live in an abundant universe. There is no scarcity. There's only opportunity.
Oh yes, I mean, it's like before I used to wait 300 pounds.
Did you really?
Yes, 300 pounds.
What do you weigh now?
I'm 221.
300. So you were big.
Oh yes, man. You would
Not all
would
muscle,
see,
I'm assuming, just big.
No, really big. I mean, you could have seen my you would have seen my cheeks. They were like big.
300 pounds.
300 pounds. Yes, and that happened when I was married. Like I was really stressed.
Not taking care of yourself.
Yes, and
right.
it caused a lot of anxiety. All that stuff. I mean, all that bad stuff. I mean, and right now that I'm going through all this, one of the main thing is health. I mean, if you want to help a lot of people, if you want to gain wealth, you need to be healthy.
It's true. Yeah.
You need to have a wealthy mind too. I mean, like a healthy mind.
Yeah. It's all connected, isn't it?
Yes, everything's connected.
Energy in our body. I think about that a lot too. If we don't have the energy or feel good, we can't produce. We can't do our work in the world.
Yes, and a lot of people, what you have in your mind, you projected it into your body. It's a reflection, right there.
Yeah.
Whatever you have here in your mind, you're gonna reflect it with your body.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
And it makes a lot of
creates
sense.
Everything.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense, but not a lot of people understand that, and that is one of the things that I thought, like I heard it from, I don't remember where I heard it, but it makes a lot of sense.
It does, absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense, and I mean, all these things that I've been through in life, it's an experience that I'm not gonna forget, because I mean, it's the bad things. Like I say, I mean, I've been learning more from the bad things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
They make a bigger impact in our lives, don't they?
Yes, and I used to regret a lot of things, but now I'm like, no.
Yeah, it all goes in the bucket. It's all part of who we are now.
Yes, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna make it rememberable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgiven,
Yeah.
so that way a lot of people can look and see into their lives. That's what I want to accomplish. That is my purpose in life, and I have a lot of big goals in life.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I share this. I'm a trillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I say I'm a trillionaire.
Yeah.
And everybody is a trillionaire,
Yeah.
but we just don't see it.
True.
If you have your legs, if you have your hands, and your mentality, you have everything. There's no excuses.
Wow.
You have everything. I'm already am a trillionaire.
Yeah. It's awesome, Sam. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and I look forward to following your journey and seeing what you're building.
Of course,
awesome.
Mark. I believe one day I'm gonna be wealthy.
I do too.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And it's all about believing.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there's big walls, but that is not gonna stop me.
No.
That is not gonna stop me. I'm willing to die for my dreams.
Yeah. And that's
I'm
the
willing.
conviction that
Yes.
once that conviction is there, nothing can hold you back.
Yes, nobody. I'm willing to die. I already did it once.
Mm-hmm.
I put everything online. I was like, I'm gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna share this in the future with you.
I know you will.
I'm gonna share this with you.
Yeah. We'll look back on this.
Yes, we're gonna look back into this, and this moment is gonna be special right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in history. This moment.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I do too.
That's why I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was excited.
Yeah. Sam, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me. I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you, Mark. I mean, I'm really grateful, and even though it's a little noisy, but I mean, we just no excuses. That's what it's all about, man.
Absolutely.
No excuses, and 10x.
Yeah.
That's all.
You know it.
10x. Well, there it is, Mark.
Awesome. I love it.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.